Welcome to Offgrid Victory. So here on the Homestead and Offgrid, there's always challenges in terms of things that we do, and one of those is laundry. And of course, living off-grid, you can use washboards, you can use plungers with a 5-gallon bucket, and you can wash your clothes fairly effectively and cleanly by using those kind of non-powered or human-powered resources, right? But what I want to show you today is something you can do. This is a little Blue Eddy power generator that I use for my entire home and my container. And also it's very portable, right? So I can take it on the road with me, as well as this guy. And so that's the featured video of today, and that's washing machines, homestead, off-grid, camping. And so what I want to show you is this guy right here. It's an All-Tech machine. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. This is the large capacity model that's 28 pounds. It retails for about 200 bucks, and well, it does everything that we need it to do. Now we do have a regular house washing machine that we can use off of this little guy, believe it or not, but not as effectively as this guy, because I just can't weigh it down, or this battery bank is just it's too much for it, and I have to run a generator. But with this particular setup, all I need is the little power bank. That's only 1200 amp hours, and that'll be more than sufficient to do many loads of laundry on this full battery pack. So let me go through this particular machine. So this is the All-Tech, and it's the large model. It's 28. It weighs 28 pounds, and there's smaller ones like 20 pounds and even all the way down to I think 14 pounds. So it really depends on how much laundry you want to do. For this particular demonstration, I'm going to do just a small basket full of laundry with jeans and a hoodie and some underwear, lots of socks, things like that. And so this particular washer is their large model, and really it can easily hold this. It could probably hold double the amount of laundry that I just showed you, but we're going to just do this for demonstration. And of course, the other thing is it has this little spinner which spins out the water really well. Now if you put that much clothes in, obviously you can see the capacity, it's not as big. So so yeah, you're gonna have to spin it a couple times. You can wash a lot more than you can spin, but once you spin it, it really does take a really good job of taking all that moisture out. Okay, so this particular unit has a wash timer, as you can see right there, and you can put it up to 15 minutes. It has a normal agitation as well as gentle agitation, and of course here is to drain. So these buttons right here, these two, govern the wash cycle, and then finally all the way to the right is the timer for the spin cycle, and that's going to engage the motor to spin out. So let's go ahead and try that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. I don't know if you can hear the motor going, but we'll go ahead and turn it on here, and I'm just going to put it on 12, and let's see how much power it draws. So it's drawing looks like almost 300 watts at a time with the load that I have. So once again, I filled this bucket about not quite full, but almost. And then also I wanted to say, use detergents that are biodegradable. That doesn't have sense, especially if you're at a campsite or using it outdoors where you are. You don't want any of that stuff to linger. You want it to be quickly absorbed and out of the way in the soil. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at it again. So as it agitates back and forth, it's using roughly 300 watts. And so you can see on this battery bank, it's not going to do anything to that. You could probably run at least a dozen loads or so. But let's go ahead and see the agitation. So it's getting the clothes back in and out, and moving it in and out, as you can see. But at any rate, so that'll be done, and then afterwards we're going to put in another rinse load of water, and then we're going to go ahead and spin. So right now, with all that clothing in there, I've used probably about 10 gallons of water. So that's the only downside of this unit, right? You're using a decent amount of water. It's not a high efficiency machine in terms of the water usage. What it is a high efficiency machine of is the amount of power that it consumes. It's very light, And like I said, a little generator like this, which powers our entire home, will work. And of course you could take this on the road, you can take the machine on the road, onto your campsite. So it's really portable and handy for that. So I'll show you the next step when you finish this wash cycle. Okay, so I ran the wash cycle, and now I have to do a rinse cycle. Now, of course, this is all manual, so we did a 15-minute wash cycle on normal, and then I drained it all the way to the right by draining the water out, and then I took each load into my spinner here to spin all the water out, and then now what I've done is put it back in, put another 10 gallons, and then of course you don't have to wash it because you're just trying to saturate it and get all the soap out of your laundry. So I ran it at about half that time. You can run it 15 minutes, you can run it 7.5 minutes, whatever, and then after that procedure you go ahead and drain it, and that should take all the soap out. And now we're ready for the final spin. So what I wanted to say about the spin cycle is just make sure you push all of that laundry in. It has to be below the surface of this. Like there's actually room here. You don't want any clothes to be caught in the behind area. So you just want it flat like that, and inside completely. And let's go ahead and start the spin cycle and see how much power it drains off the battery, or how much it's pulling. So let's go ahead and just spin it. The other thing I wanted to say is just make sure that you're on level ground. And if you have to hold it, you can hold it until it kind of gets to its rhythm and spins properly. So let's see how much it's pulling. All right, so it's pulling 167, 100, well, last time I did it, it pulled about 180, somewhere around there in terms of wattage. And so, yeah, that's what it's doing now. And what I'll do after this is I'll show you how dry it is. Now, I'm only going to run it for a few minutes here to demonstrate, but that's it. Okay, so here's one of the shirts that just came through the spin cycle, and this is what I wanted to show you. It is really, really dry. Now, you set that in the sun, really, within hours it'll completely dry, but that's how well this spin cycle works. I would actually run the spin cycle the full 5 minutes to get all the water out, but that's it. So yeah, would I recommend this guy? Of course, especially living off grid or for camping, and even traveling, right? You can just have a little power generator like this, and a machine, and as long as you have access to water, and you can maybe have to heat that water. It does a pretty decent job of washing it. And of course, yeah, we do live in the 21st century, so we don't have to be washing in the stream with a washing board. Although it would be nice to use the stream for water. Any rate, all right, I would recommend this setup for the off-grid and the camping community. Shalom.